Hello students, how are you? I hope that you all are safe at home. Today I will teach you chapter 1 of civics, democracy. First, you will read the lesson one or two times, then you will listen my video. Okay, what does democracy mean? The term democracy is derived from two Greek words, demos meaning people and kratos meaning rule or government. Thus, the true essence of a democracy is the rule of people or their representatives. And going by the famous definition given by Abraham Lincoln, democracy refers to government by the people, for the people, and of the people. In other words, it is the rule by the people. Okay. Now, tracing the roots of democracy. As we see today, the form of democracy, it is different from its original form. Many other changes and transformations we have this form. Around 6th century BCE, in early India, democracy was there in the form of small states called Mahajanpadas. While most of these states were ruled by a king, some by representatives of 8 clans. These representatives governed the state through various assemblies like Gana and Sangha. According to ancient sources, Vajji had a republican form of government and Vaishali was its capital. And in the Western world, ancient Greece witnessed the first democracy. The city-state of Athens experimented with democracy, a form of government where the citizens and not a king or group of wealthy nobles made the law. Okay. And following this, 3 events shape the history of modern democracy. Number 1. In Britain, the nobles mean courtiers who assisted the king to protect themselves. They introduced a document called the Magna Carta. It was about to limit the powers of monarchy. Monarchy means the ultimate power or the king. Second one is the British colonies in North America declared themselves independent from Britain in 1776 and adopt a democratic constitution in 1787. The new government of USA adopted the Bill of Rights, which granted civil rights to its citizens. Okay, the third one, soon after, to get inspiration from this, there was a revolution in France. The French Revolution of 1789 paved the way for independence from absolute monarchy in Europe to democracy. It established the principle of self-government and strengthened the powers of people by making them supreme. Now, freedom and democracy. Okay. Revolutions, decolonization was for independence, civil rights movements and economic circumstances pushed many countries of Africa, Asia and Africa, America towards democracy during the 20th century. Democracy got further boost after the Second World War in 1945. Consequently, the world came together to recognize human rights and dignity by adopting the Declaration of Human Rights in 1948. And after achieving independence, most of these Asian and African countries adopted a democratic form of democracy. India got independent from British rule in 1947 and chose democracy and continues to be the largest democracy in the world. And in 1991, the Soviet Union disintegrated into 15 republics, and many communist countries became free from Soviet control and became democracies. And India's neighboring countries like Pakistan, Bangladesh, and Myanmar had also adopted democracy after freedom. Now, other forms of government. How many types of government are there? Number 1, absolute monarchy. Absolute monarchy is a political regime where the monarch or king has absolute power over its people and state. Countries like United Arab Emirates, Vatican City, Qatar, Oman, and Saudi Arabia have absolute monarchies. A monarchy is generally hereditary, and the monarch's children inherit the position. Okay. First, father or mother is the king, then their children only. Means next generation. The child of next generation will be the king of that state or country. Understand? Second one, constitutional monarchy. It is a system where the powers of the monarch are defined and limited by law. The monarch of the state is recognized as the ceremonial head of the government and has to govern according to the rules mentioned in the Constitution. And Britain has a system of constitutional monarchy. The people elect the Prime Minister and other representatives. Okay, now third one is dictatorship. In a dictatorship, citizens are ruled by force and the government does not have to explain its policies to the people, and it is a non-democratic rule. Germany was under the dictatorship of Adolf Hitler for more than a decade during the Second World War. Similarly, Italy was under Benito Mussolini's rule. Okay. Number 4 is military dictatorship. Military dictatorship means this is a form of government where political powers lies in the hands of military, and the military dictators come into power mostly after overthrow the previous government, and the dictator seize power from the ruling party or leader in a military coup, does not allow elections to take place, and bans all opposition parties. Okay, some of the countries have successful and stable military dictatorship, such as Cambodia, South Vietnam, Ghana, Argentina, Costa Rica, Haiti, Democratic Republic of Congo, etc. Okay. Now next is communist government. A communist government is controlled by a single communist party. The ideology of Communist Party is to control the economic resources to progress towards higher social order, and the final goods are to be distributed equally among people. They do not believe in rich or poor. Only China has a communist form of government. Okay. Now, present scenario. More than half of the independent countries in the world today have a democratic form of government. Okay. However, the switch from one form of government to a democracy has not been easy. Revolutions, decolonizations, war for independence, civil rights movements, and economic circumstances pushed many countries of Africa, Asia, and America towards democracy during the 20th century. And in the present day scenario, direct democracy is not common and it is followed in every few places. Okay. For example, in some provinces of Switzerland, because of the large size and population in these countries, people elect their representatives. They elect representative, make decision for the entire population. Okay. Now, main thrust of democracy constitution. One feature that distinguishes a democracy from other form of government is that in a democracy, the government cannot work irrationally. They are bound to rules mentioned in the constitution. They cannot misuse the power. Okay. Now, vital role of people in decision making. One of the essential feature of democracy is mentioned is a method of decision making. Okay. Every democratic country allows active participation of people, directly or indirectly, in the decision making, since the people have the right to express their opinion and have a say in it. Democracy brings forth better decisions. Okay. Thus, in a democracy, a decision involves the consent of the people who are affected by that decision. Okay. The decision making process in modern democracies is carried out by the elected representative of the country. These representatives express the demands and expectations of the people at large, and final decisions are taken on the basis of majority votes. Okay. So, it might take some time to arrive a decision and which is acceptable to the majority. Okay. Now, equality and the role of law. Democracy is a commitment towards equality. It guarantees political, economic, and social equality to the people. Equality implies that people of a democratic society are equal before the law. The fundamental rights, as stated in the Constitution, are guaranteed to everyone without any kind of discrimination based on caste, class, color, creed, sex, or religion. Okay, and in a democracy, whichever party is in power, they are bound to make the rules in accordance with the law written in the constitution. According to law, in a democratic country, president to farmer, all are treated same and is bound by the same laws. And now, accommodation of differences. As India is a land of diversities, so at times diversity leads to conflict, which can be resolved by developing a tolerant attitude, and democracy provides a peaceful solution to this problem because it gives equal right to all. As democracy is based on the principle of equality, and the Indian Constitution grants the right to equality to all the citizens of India. Every citizen is considered equal and has equal right and opportunities. Okay, everyone is treated equally before the law, and the opportunities are and benefits are for same for everyone. Okay, government cannot discriminate against anyone while appointing someone for a government job. Thus, democracy is a form of government which works for all-round development of the people. Okay, now problem of inequality. Despite of equal status granted by our constitution to every Indian, there are various types of inequalities in our society, like social, gender, caste, religious, economics, etc. And amongst these, the caste system is the main cause of inequality, which classifies people as high caste and low caste on the social ladder. The people of lower caste faced discrimination and called as untouchables. These were not allowed to enter the houses of higher class people earlier. Okay. Today they call themselves Dalits, which means broken, in order to convey the message that how they have been treated by the higher sections of the society. Now, fight against inequality. Mahatma Gandhi, you know the name of the Mahatma Gandhi, led a long struggle against untouchability and worked for the welfare of the lower castes. He called them Harijans, or the people of God, and the cause of Dalits were taken by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, a social activist and a lawyer who was born into the family of Dalits. He is also the father of the Indian Constitution, and due to the efforts of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, Dalits were given the status of scheduled caste, which is entitled certain safeguards such as reservations in public institutions. And now, constitutional provisions. It has many provisions in order to achieve equality. Let us discuss them. Number 1 is Article 15 of the Indian Constitution prohibits discrimination on grounds of religion, race, caste, sex, and place of birth. It means all are same in the eyes of law. Second one is no restrictions will be applied according to race, caste, sex, place of birth with regard to go to shops, public places, temples, etc. or using wells, tanks, bathing ghats or any state fund or place dedicated to the use of the general public. Okay, now next is Article 16 of the Constitution provides equality of opportunity in matter relating to public employment like government jobs. Next is and Article 17 of the Constitution declares untouchability and its practice in any form as forbidden is an punishable act in accordance with the law. Now next is in 1955 the Disabilities Act was passed by the Government of India, which states that persons with disabilities have equal rights. Okay. There are so many programs of government which guarantees equality for the people of India like midday meal, many housing schemes, and the NREGA provides employment to poor people in need of jobs. Okay. Now the last point is issue of equality in other countries. Various forms of inequality still exist in many countries all over the world like Nigeria, Singapore, South Korea, Georgia and Indonesia were among countries praised for trying to reduce inequality through policies on social spending, tax and labor rights. The African Americans were subjected to gross inequalities, means inequality of color, black and white. Rosa Parks and Martin Luther King Jr. led a long struggle against inequality laws. Then the Civil Rights Act was passed in 1964. According to this act, discrimination on the basis of race, religion or nationality was prohibited. And Martin Luther also got the Nobel Peace Prize for leading the civil rights movement. So my dear children, this chapter is over. Okay, bye.